I wasn't going to speak to you before, Michael Rutter. Many commiserations for that, because you had that look.
Yeah, it was just one of those things, like you say, TT. You know, until you're going over that line, you know, you haven't won it, and anything can happen. I felt it once or twice, and then it started getting worse and worse. And oh well, you know, it's one of those TT experiences you have to take, really.
Jamie Coward said that you pointed down through Brandish to the left-hander there, just pointed down to the rear of the bike, and he let him go past, because obviously he was saying, oh God, Michael's slowing down, what's happening here? Major disappointment. I've never seen you so angry. I've seen you angry a few times, but I could see it. It's so frustrating for you. You've had no luck, have you?
No, you know, I wasn't angry. I just didn't want to talk to you.
You're a so-and-so. Right, that's the milk done. No more milk for you. Can have some milk, but you can't. Michael, commiserations. Good luck for this one. Cheers. We'll grab a chat with the other guys there. So Michael heads himself up to the little ensconce area that they have here, kind of the little... As Tim quite rightly says, they're like things when you go into a nightclub, but I've never seen him in a nightclub yet, to be honest, so you know. Right, James Hillier, he's just talking to Steve Parrish for ITV4 at the moment. With a lot of people running around with things and bobs and bats here, so we'll just stay out of the way of them while they are doing that. And maybe David Johnson, grab a quick word if we can. Just grab a little chat with David off at number 8. David? Come over this way. I'm not going. I can't duck under. It's too far down.
You don't even need to lean under that thing.
See, it's just abuse all the way. Just remember, how's the bike being? You guys, the Vintage Smart, put a great bike out, don't they?
Yeah, awesome bike. I've done 3 laps on it all week, so that's awesome. And straight into the race. But yeah, I missed the big night where we had everyone got a load of laps in. I broke down on my second lap, so. Yeah, well, I mean, I know the bike. I rode it last year. It's a few small changes, get different gearbox and some bits and bobs, but she feels good. So we'll hold it wide out there and see how we go.
What's the stability like on it? Because she's a heavy old lump. Does she move around a wee bit?
No, it's not too bad. It's more stable than a 230 horsepower Superbike, that's for sure. So we've got it pretty good stability-wise. It is the old chassis. It's sort of, when the newer ones come past, you're just like, I wish I had that sort of handling, but it handles good for an old donk, and yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of torque, so that's, I mean, it has its advantages and disadvantages to the to like the 92 models. It's 82, so 10 years of sort of geometry upgrades and whatever, development, yeah. So but it does good, and yeah, looking forward to it.
Good luck, David.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David Johnson. Cheers. Don't see Gary Johnson here yet, but we do see Paul Jordan. Grab that, Mark, or Tim, or whoever. Grab that. Thank you. Yeah, lack of adhesion flags. And Paul Jordan, good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
You all right?
No, I'm a bit nervous, but...
You'll be grand when you get going. Been a long day waiting around, isn't it? You've never really experienced a true delay like this, have you really?
It's been one of them there once, been ups and downs, trying to get yourself geared up for it, but yeah, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to get stuck in.
What about the bike, happy?
Yeah, every time we get on the bike we're going faster, and to be fair, this is the first time I've actually put new tyres in the bike, so I think there's a wee bit left in me, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Thank you very much, Paul Jordan. Get a bit further on and grab a word with James Hillier if we can. He's just having a chat with Michael Rutter. Let's grab a word with James if we can. Phil, excuse me, guys. Sorry, Michael. Do you know what? I'm just thinking Trevor Nation. That's all I'm thinking about when I look at that. But then it's you.
Looks nice, doesn't it?
It does. It looks the business. You and Joey as teammates. Tell us how this has all come about with these bikes. I mean, this is the second year, the third year you run these?
Second now, yeah. And I'm quite sort of honoured to be part of it, really. It's certainly, the whole package looks well, and they need maybe some nice leather, so at least we look fast. It's not been a great practice week with, obviously everyone's in the same boat. We've had a few minor technical issues, so hopefully now we dialed them out, and it's going to be interesting race. I should be, I'm not going to be anywhere really lap 1, that's for sure, but I'll get quicker as the race goes on and see what we can pick up. But hey, at least we're racing now. It's been a long week, isn't it?
It's been a long old day, isn't it? Are you not staying on for the 2-day trial? Because I know you're into all that trial stuff. Bruce Anstey, I wish you'd stop doing that. People are going to be sending letters. What's going wrong with you people? Bruce gives a big shake of the hand.
He hasn't stopped smiling since
he hasn't, has he? Isn't it? Hey, look at that, and you're riding his number 5 as well.
Yeah, I've got his number. So yeah, it's good to see. And no, I'm not doing the trial. I've got to practice more. I think I actually came last when I attempted last time and got smoked by a lot of sort of 80 and 90 year old men. That absolutely showed me the way home. So I've got to practice a bit more before I come back for that. And my wife's back home. We got another baby due in a few weeks, so just for the sort of safety of the kids, I need to get back and sort of take over and help out a little bit back there, I think.
Good luck on that as well, James. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Cheers. 5 minutes to the start line. Let's move forward. He spoke to Michael Rudd. Let's speak to Phil Crow going off at the front on the lovely, lovely Team Classic Suzuki. Philip, well, how's it been? How are you finding the bike now after 2 weeks of hard work?
Yeah, I won't say it's 2 weeks of hard work. It's been 2 steady weeks, really. But yeah, we've got the bike as good as it's going to be with the amount of time we've had. I've got no complaints from it at the minute. Whether that'll change when we find the speed, a bit more speed, I'm unsure. But I think it's good to go for a good few more mile an hour yet, which will put us in contention for the race. Yeah, just a bit disappointed with the lack of time on top of the thing, because we're probably not giving it the best show it can have yet. But if we can find that extra few mile an hour on the first lap or two, I don't know. See what happens then.
Good luck, Phil.
Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Phil Crow there, off at number 3. We'll get past to Dino if we can and jump around the back here and let's go around this side. See? Haha, see? Little fella comes around the side. Well, young man, I'm good. You good?
Yeah, fine. Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, I'm 100%. Thank you. Been a long day. What about the bike? How's it been? It's going well?
Yeah, no, bike's good. Ready to go now. So I want to get 4 laps in. I want to get the race underway and gone, really.
You just had enough of waiting around?
Yeah, see, I've never sort of ate as much in a week in my life. I think I've put on about a stone this week, which has not done me no favours. So I'll have to have a bit of a cutback when I get home.
So you had the speed trap time then on this one. I think could be down a bit, beating all those cakes.
Yeah, that's it. I'll get good traction anyway.
Good luck, Dean.
Yeah,
thank you very much. Cheers. And we'll jump forward very quickly to the Greenhill Racing bike. And again, he's got the 360 camera on. That is, of course, Horst Seiger. And good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
How you doing, fella? That's Manx. How you doing, fella?
I want number 75. I don't want to be first.
You don't want to be first. There's no pressure. You deal with your pressure quite well, don't you?
Yeah, normally yes, but not here.
You're fine.
Should be all right. I'm happy that we race today and don't have to wait for tomorrow.
Have you had enough of waiting around? Dean Harrison was just saying that.
Yeah, I'm a good waiter, so.
What about the bike? Happy?
Yeah, we made some changes now. We had some small problems. Couldn't sort them out because of, yeah. No, it should be all right. Should be all right.
Okay, Horst, big smile, massive smile under there. Just less than 3 minutes ago, we spoke to all the main protagonists, really. Didn't get to speak to Gary Johnson, but I'm going to try and allay that now, because Gary, to me, I think, is a little bit of a dark horse for this one. Philip McCallan. Oh, God. Yeah. Just ask little questions about tick over and stuff. Gaz, going well in practice, mate?
Yeah, definitely. Over 1 lap, we was quickest. Big difference that to what it's going to be like now in the race. A few patches, bit of uncertainty coming up on it first time, but looking forward to it, Chris.
Good luck, Gary.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks very much, Gary Johnson. Sorry, sir. There you go. Jump through with the generator. Jamie Coward's at 9. We can see a bit further back. We've got the Padgett spike with Connor now. This could be a bit of a different animal, and this is going to be a bit quicker.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
How do you adjust to that so fast after jumping off the 350 to this?
I don't really know, to be honest, but I'll adjust when I go down.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Connor's there ready to go, just putting the lid on. I think he's all right. Danielle's just holding his gloves, and of course they're also expecting a baby too. God, come the start of this as an come up quiz. So here we go then, Tim. It's the RST Superbike Classic TT. 4 laps it is too, and Michael Russett now. Just to change it, just saying the thing, he's in the Ducati, Tim. He's definitely not on the Ducati. He's on the big Yamaha. Okay, so definitely on the yellow Tim Winfield Yamaha. So back to you.
Yeah, just writing that down. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, the Yamaha from, of course, Team Winfield, who've already enjoyed a win here as we come up to 1 minute to go. 1 minute now ahead of the RST Superbike Classic TT. And what an honour for that man under the Bennett's arch there. It's Horst Seiger on the Greenhill Racing Kawasaki, who will be first down the road towards Bray Hill. And if you've got flashes, just seen a flash go there, please turn them off at the moment, because the light is definitely a little bit suspect, shall we say. It's quite dark for 10 to 6 approaching on afternoon in August on the island, but Horst Zeiger is ready. We're nearly ready. 20 seconds until that famous tap on the shoulder, and then he'll be followed by Dean Harrison at 2 and Philip Crowe at 3. What an opportunity for him on the Team Classic Suzuki, as we now approach 5 seconds to the start of the RST Superbike Classic TT. Horst Zeiger is good to go. The flag drops. The flag, in fact, is in the middle of the road. And James Hillier's bike, we understand, is being wheeled away. But it's Dean Harrison next on the Silicone Engineering Kawasaki away. And Philip Crowe next on the Team Classic Suzuki. Michael Rutter now on the Team Winfield Yamaha. And no number 5 under the arch for Hillier. So it is Paul Jordan on the Mistral Racing Kawasaki who's away next. Gary Johnson on the first of the Team York Suzukis is at number 7. So I think Paul Jordan has actually gone in Hillier's start time. And I believe it's an overheated bike there for James Hillier. So next away is number 8, and that is the second Team York Suzuki of David Johnson, and next it'll be the Kraus Racing bike of Jamie Coward, number 9. Connor Cummins ready to go out on the Padgett's Yamaha. Let's hear this away. Blue smoke as he heads away. Josh Brooks on the Wiz Norton Racing Norton is not there, because that is number 12. So it looks as if there's a problem as well with Josh Brooks. So 13, Andrew Dudgeon, quickest man in practice, is away next. Yeah, Josh Brooks not away, but Derek Shields is. Josh Brooks is just away to the left-hand side of the arch. 15 away, that is Sam West, and next is 16, that's Danny Webb on the Team Classic Suzuki. Josh Brooks is now off the bike. It's a disappointment for Josh Brooks. 17 away, that's Brian McCormack on the A&C Suzuki. Next will be Craig Neve on the Kawasaki. And 19 away will be Kawasaki, the Wilcott Consulting Kawasaki of Michael Evans. And number 20 is Joey Thompson. And I can see that Josh Brooks is back on the bike. He may well go at the back of the field. But that is 25 away, that's Rob Hodson. Next will be 31, Julian Trummer. We'll let you listen to him leave. '62 should be next and is. That's Forrest Dunn, done very well in practice. John Barton on the WeMoto.com Ducati at 29 away next. And now a bit of Bimotor sound from Ben Wiley. '54 is Rob Whittle next to go on the Satori Racing Suzuki. 40, Paul Owen is next to get the tap on the shoulder, but let's go to Glen Helen. Dave Christian.
Yes, thanks, Tim. Eagerly awaiting the arrival of the first man on the road. just hearing in the background, there's a little bit of engine noise. I can see the spectators staring down on the wall in front of us. They're getting towards the barriers to get the best possible view. There's machine noise in the sector now. I can hear it. The first bike comes out of Glen Helen 2. Flicks left into the left-hander now. That's Horst Zeiger, but he's been caught on the road by Dean Harrison. Dean Harrison right behind Horst Zeiger on the road. They're both safely through here on the opening lap, and Dino's going to get a good look at him, at Horst down Cronkovody Straight. I imagine we'll see a pass coming up. 8.5 seconds Harrison has taken out of Horst Zeiger between the grandstand and here. Here's another 2 together, which indicates another big time difference. That's 3 and 4 together on the road. That is Michael Rutter and Phil Crow. So Rutter up on Phil Crow on corrected time. Caught him on the road. He'll be looking to pass as well as Paul Jordan comes through. Jordan third quickest so far. And we just hearing his back wheel there, a little bit of wheel spin there as he gets onto the power on the exit of the corner, but he's okay. He's through and into Sarah's Cottage as Gary Johnson tips it into the left-hander. Gary Johnson moves into second place now in his early leaderboard here at the first lap on this 4-lap race. Next machine, a little flick to the right, onto the brakes, down the gearbox, into the left-hander. That is number 8, Dave Johnson. Again, safely through here on his opening lap, but just outside the top 4. Dave Johnson holding 5th place as it stands, as Jamie Coward goes, and we'll go back to Chris Kinley in the pits.
Yeah, just to give you some information for the Josh Brooks fans out there, especially down under, he's just got underway now, so they'll obviously slot him in with the time, they'll work the time out, and he will be accredited, so that is something we're going to have to watch in this 4-lap race. He's 6 minutes flat he started at after the first rider went, so 6 minutes flat, so get your stopwatches out, guys. Back to Glen Helen, Dave Christian.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Connor Cummins safely through here on his opening lap. Number 10, Cummins in 6th place, just 1.2 seconds back on 5th place, Dave Johnson. That's Davey Todd through, but he's been caught on the road by Andy Dudgeon. So Andy Dudgeon catching and Davey Todd on the road and well ahead of him on corrected time. Dudge just outside the top 5. Next man through, Derek Shields, number 14, and Shields safely through on his opening lap, and he takes that 5th spot. So it's Harrison leads Johnson by 2.5 seconds. In 3rd place, number 4, Michael Rutter. He's another 2.5 seconds down on Johnson. In 4th place, number 6, Paul Jordan. He's 1 second down on Michael Rutter. And making up your top 5 at the moment anyway, number 14, Derek Shields. That's 15 through, Sam West. He's safely onto the power and makes his climb up towards Sarah's Cottage, but doesn't threaten the top 10. Davo Johnson in 6th, number 8. He is just 1/10 of a second down on Derek Shields. 16 through, Danny Webb on the 500 Suzuki, and he's followed on the road by 18, Craig Neve, so Craig Neve will be ahead of him on corrected time. 17 and 19 both through now as well. 17 Brian McCormick, 19 Michael Evans. Michael Evans now gets the drop on number 18 Craig Neve, and Mikey Evans just outside the top 10 in 11th place. But that Josh Brooks starting from the rear of the field will throw a major spanner in the works. We'll just have to keep a careful eye on him using our timing screens just to keep an eye out where he is and what sort of times he's putting it in. 25 through, Rob Hudson safely through on his opening lap, and he's followed on the road by 31. That's Julian Trummer, I think, 31. Indeed, Trummer just outside the top 10 at the moment. And making up your... we'll go back to Chris Kinley in the pits.
Well, James Hillier's got that problem sorted out, and he's on the line as well, so he's going to obviously be credited with maybe his original start time, I don't know, but he's 8 minutes and 30. He went to James's away, and that Ducati doesn't half sound nice as he heads under the RST bridge. Dave?
Yes, thanks. We just missed Forrest Dunn there, number 62, qualified really well. And Forrest Dunn, 62, he came off the line in 23rd place, and he's already picked up 6 places already into 17th for Forrest Dunn. The leaders on the road, at least all through Balaf at them now. 42 goes through Ben Wiley. So Dean Harrison, Gary Johnson, Michael Rutter, Paul Jordan, Horst Zeiger and Phil Clough all through Balaf. With Dean Harrison still keeping the lead. He has a 6-second advantage on Balaf over Gary Johnson. But here at Glen Helen, it was Harrison with the lead from Gary Johnson. 2.5 seconds the gap was then. Michael Rutter third. He's 2.5 down on Johnson. Fourth place, number 6, Paul Jordan. The second down on Rutter. And fifth place, making up the top 5, number 14, Derek Shields. 1 second down on Paul Jordan. Back to you at the grandstand.
Number 30, Michael Russell, started right at the back of the field, was meant to be in start position number 29. So there's a few riders all over the order. So the time difference is 9 minutes 50 after the first bike. Horse Saiga was away at Belap Bridge. Dean Harrison is the leader by 5.7 seconds ahead of number 7, Gary Johnson. Michael Rutter a further 2.7 seconds down in third position. Fastest as well through the speed trap despite the cakes. 173.9 for Dean Harrison, 169.9 it is for Jamie Coward, and Michael Rutter 169.5. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin and Roy Moore.
The howl of those four-cylinders machines down through Lazaire Road and into Ramsey, and certainly there's not many spectators down at Stella Maris like TT Week, but they stirred at the sound, and certainly it won't be long before they'll be with us here at Ramsey Hairpin. They will be going through that bumpy section. The big bike's hard to handle there through Cruikshanks, but into our view very, very shortly will come number 2, Dean Harrison. He sweeps at us, Stella Maris, down through the box, back end just hanging out a little bit, but certainly gets it round and right over on those tyres, and then tucked in behind the bubble is number 1, Horse Saiga. He's through. He's 18 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but certainly holding not the first position on the road. He was a bit apprehensive about it all, but he is through. But it's not quite a way to go before number 7, Gary Johnson. 5.5 seconds was the advantage. Michael Rutter should be with us very, very shortly indeed here at Ramsey, and out comes from Stella Maris, and again down through the box, just losing a bit of puff of blue smoke comes out of that exhaust as he goes round, but certainly buries it. Front wheel comes up as he goes away up through the centre line. Well, certainly if they've been told there's damp patches on the approach and the exit from Ramsey Hairpin, they're not taking any heed of it, as number 6 is here now, Paul Jordan, and Gary Johnson shouldn't be too far away now, I wouldn't have thought, but the difference between them is 9 seconds here at Ramsey. 9.5. Dean Harrison leads number 2, because there is Gary Johnson. He was quick the other night, and he's not getting tucked in behind the bubble. Bit of a burble as it goes away, but certainly Gary Johnson holding on to second place. 9.5 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but Michael Rutter is only 2.5 seconds behind Gary Johnson. Another screech of a machine comes into view. That is number 8 getting round, and that is David Johnson. Well, he earned his early career on a Triumph Triple, I believe. His father Murray was a Manx Norton rider, I've been told back there. Number 6, number 9 it is, but it's certainly no doubting that Connor Cummins number 10, and Connor Cummins is only 1.5 seconds down in 4th place on Michael Rutter, and Paul Jordan number 6 is only 2.5 seconds down on Connor Cummins. In 6th place, number 1, Horse Saiga, 2.5 seconds down on Paul Jordan, and 7th, number 8, David Johnson. He's only 0.2 of a second down on Horse Saiga. Jamie Coward should be the next in number, but look out for Andy Dudgeon. Certainly the quick man in practice, number 13, Andy Dudgeon. Is this him here now? It certainly is. Distinctive style, Manx Grand Prix winner, and handling that big bike beautifully round there, and 7th position for him, but only 0.4 of a second down on Horse Saiga. Davy Todd, number 12, is safely through Ramsey as well. It's close, it's tight. There's only fractions of a second between 4th and 9th, and that could all change on the climb up the mountain. And again, with the big bikes, it will be a fuel stop. I'm pretty confident on that. They won't get 4 laps at these speeds, and it will be interesting to see what the speed is. What was it down through Sulby? 100 and something, 167 or something miles per hour. The road must look very, very narrow indeed. But it's Dean Harrison by 9.5 seconds from 7, Gary Johnson, who is only 2.5 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter. It should be Sam West who's with us here now, and certainly that is the case. Down through the box he goes, gets the back end hanging out, gets it round though. That's number 15, safely through Ramsey Hairpin, Sam West. But look out for Craig Neve and Davy Todd, and Michael Evans is in there as well, number 19. And here they are. Michael Evans has got ahead of number 18 as they go through. So number 19 there, Michael Evans ahead of Craig Neve as they go through. And terrific angle of lean there, as he always does. And the four-cylinder chimes in as it goes away. Danny Webb, number 16. So that is the numbers through at the moment, but certainly Brian McCormick, and look out for Rob Hodgson as well. He's going well. Is this him amongst it? It certainly is. Number 11 and 25 is there, and 31, Julian Trummer. So let's go. There's no change at the top of the leaderboard, but in 9th place, number 9, Jamie Coward. 3 seconds down on David Johnson. 10th for number 19, Michael Evans. 6.5 seconds down on Jamie Coward. 11th, 25, Rob Hodgson. 4.5 seconds down on Michael Evans. 12th, number 12, Davy Todd. He's only 2.5 seconds down on Rob Hodgson. 13th for 31, Julian Trummer. 0.5, half a second down on Davy Todd. 14th place, 18, Craig Neve. 3 seconds down on Julian Trummer. And number 62, well, he's making an impression. Forrest Dunn, he's only 3.5 seconds down, and in 14th place, number 18, Craig Neve. In turn, Forrest Dunn is 12.5 seconds ahead of in 16th place, number 15, Sam West, with Danny Webb going down to 17th. That's rider number 16. And I think he'll go further back because Ben Wiley is one that we've got to look out for here at Ramsey as well. And certainly Brian McCormick, another number to take care of. Number 42 is here, and that's Ben Wiley, 17th place for him. 5 seconds down on Sam West. And Rob Whitall, the man from New Zealand, who has got that machine, number 54, has made the top 20 here at Ramsey, but no change at the top. It's still Dean, and there's Rob Whitall now, short circuit style, the street circuits of New Zealand, getting the man there that get the knee out round Ramsey hairpin, as he did in his first Manx Grand Prix. And delight to see that Paul Owen has made Ramsey hairpin. At the bungalow, no change in the lead. It's Dean Harrison, but from Michael Rutter. But remember, we've got to get Gary Johnson through there. But certainly Michael Rutter has taken over from Gary Johnson into second place. And he's 15 seconds behind Dean Harrison, but only 0.3 of a second ahead of Gary Johnson at the bungalow. In 4th place at the bungalow, 2 seconds down on Gary Johnson is number 10, Connor Cummins. In 5th place, number 6, Paul Jordan, 6.5 seconds down on Cummins. And 6th, number 1, Horse Saiga, 0.2 only down on Paul Jordan. There's number 36 going through. Now back to the grandstand.
Thank you, Roy, and we look to see lights on number 2 and 1, Dean Harrison and Horse Saiga. Dean Harrison 15.6 seconds ahead at the bungalow of number 4, Michael Rutter, who's moved up. He's now made it to Cronknamona. Gary Johnson is just 0.3 down on Rutter, and only 1.9 ahead of 4th place, number 10, Connor Cummins. Dean Harrison now is about to come into view, and what an opening lap this is from Dean Harrison. Crosses the line now, and we wait to see 125.475 miles per hour there from Dean Harrison. And next it should be Horse Saiga. Can hear the bike. We can now see the green Kawasaki. Yep, Horse Saiga is through on the Greenall Racing Kawasaki at 122.247. Mark Herbertson has retired at the Highlander. Derek Shields retired at Kurt Michael at Douglas Road. Philip Crow retired at Ballaugh Bridge. As across the line goes Michael Rutter. So we switch back to the leaderboard, and Rutter 19 seconds down on Dean Harrison. More retirements, John Barton at Quarterbridge, and also at Quarterbridge, Joey Thompson. So 20, 29, 3, 14 and 51 all are retirements. And across the line there is Paul Jordan, 121.68. And now it should be Gary Johnson, number 7, it is, at 122.98. So we've got to wait, of course, to see Connor Cummins through. But Gary Johnson currently in third. He's just 2.9 down on Michael Rutter, who is in second. And Rutter is 19 seconds down on Dean Harrison. Across the line there is number 8, David Johnson, at 121.44. He's in 6th. There's Connor. And Connor's just 0.4 of a second down on Gary Johnson. Connor Cummins, number 10, slotting into 4th position. So Dean Harrison, I can tell you as well that Josh Brooks is 10th at Ramsey Hairpin. We heard from our commentator Roy Moore. I'm just hearing the klaxon sounding there. So there is a bike about to come into the pits as we wait for it to cross the line. It is number 9. So that is, of course, number 9 is Jamie Coward, and I think that Chris Kinley looks very much like a retirement from the body language.
Unfortunately, does, after the highs of getting that podium in the junior TT. Unfortunately, he's going to be possibly out of this race. That will move Josh Brooks into the top 10, and he's got a lot of traffic to get through. It looks like the Kawasaki's been switched off, so it doesn't look like he's going to continue on the working on the right hand side of the machine. So I think he's probably just going to get off. Another look underneath as well. More riders go through. We'll keep you updated, Tim.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah, it didn't look very positive body language. Certainly no urgency to get to his pit crew. Andrew Dudgeon, I can tell you, is in 8th position. Davey Todd's been through and he's 9th. Jamie Coward is currently in 10th position, 1.7 behind Davey Todd. But Josh Brooks we're going to have into that top 10 probably when we're out at Glen Helen. But it is Dean Harrison that leads by 19.013 seconds, if you want it to be precise. He is going again, Jamie Coward, just heading out now of pit lane, and back out he is. So Michael Rutter 19 seconds down on Harrison in 2nd. 3rd is number 7, Gary Johnson, 2.9 down on Rutter, but he's 0.458 of a second ahead only of number 10, Connor Cummins, who's in 4th. More bikes across the line there, Michael Evans and Craig Neve, and there is number 15, Sam West. 5th is number 1, Horst Seiger. He's 6 seconds down on Connor Cummins. 6th is number 6, Paul Jordan, who's 5 seconds down on Seiger. 7th is David Johnson, number 8, who's 2.2 down on Jordan. 8th is number 13, Andrew Dudgeon, who was quickest in practice. As the klaxon sounds once again, 2.3 down on David Johnson. And Danny Webb is coming into the pits. No time to see it, though. We go to Glen Helen. Dave Christian.
Just in time for Dean Harrison to blast his way through here at his 2nd lap of the night. And very, very fast, very, very stable. Absolutely inch perfect line, as you'd expect from Dean Harrison, and no problems at all. Nice little gap for him on the road as well. Clear track ahead of him, clear track behind him, in the perfect position to settle into his own race as the next man on the road appears. That is the number 1 outfit of of Horst Seiger. But well down on corrected time on Dean Harrison, 36 seconds the gap between the two, and I suspect that's grown a little bit from the grandstand as Dean Harrison starts to stretch away at the front of this race on the 2nd lap. That is Michael Rutter on the big Yamaha, and Michael Rutter into 2nd place. The gap was 19 seconds at the grandstand. It's 25 seconds here. So Dean Harrison extending himself another 6 seconds ahead of Michael Rutter between the grandstand and Glen Helen on lap 2. We can tell you that James Hillier stopped here on the 1st lap, made some adjustments, and then continued a minute or so later. But he will be well down the field now. But James Hillier was still circulating. That's 6, Paul Jordan. Closely followed on the road by 7, Gary Johnson on corrected time. Johnson ahead of Paul Jordan. And Gary Johnson in 3rd place, just 4 seconds behind 2nd place Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter squeezed an extra second or so out of him between the grandstand and Glen Helen. But the telling story will be when the big man from Ramsey gets here. Connor was just half a second down on Gary Johnson as they came through the grandstand. Here's the big guy now. Gets on the power nice and early. Cummins takes 3rd. Cummins up to 3rd. as number 8, Davo Johnson, comes through, but Connor Cummins moves into third place now. Cummins just 3 seconds down on second place Michael Rutter, with Gary Johnson a second down on Cummins. So Connor's on the charge as he gets to grip with that big Yamaha. And moving up the leaderboard nice and steadily. Next objective, second place of Michael Rutter. Only 3.5 seconds the gap is between second and third. Making up your top 5 at the moment, then Gary Johnson 4th, and number 1 Horst Zeiger in 5th place. He is 7 seconds down on 4th place Gary Johnson. Names to watch out for. We spotted newcomer Jay Lawrence, as we'll just go back to the road for the time being. 13 comes through, Andy Dudgeon. Dudge just outside the top 5, holding 7th place at the moment, but Josh Brooks will be pretty close to him, we think. Josh Brooks ahead of him now at the grandstand. Brooks up to 8th place on corrected time, but running a bit further down the field due to that delayed start. Next man into the left-hander here is Davey Todd, number 12, safely through on his second lap. And Todd just inside the top 10 at the moment, but at the grandstand he was down to 12th. We need Mikey Evans, Craig Neve and Rob Hodson all ahead of him, who started at slightly higher start numbers, and those guys not quite through here just yet. Newcomer Jay Lawrence, number 83, was the man I was talking about. He started in 40th. He was up to 25th place at Glen Helen on lap 1. So great start from him. As the next man does come in here, wrestles that bike down into the left-hander. That's Jamie Coward. Jamie Coward had that stop and adjustment at the grandstand, so he's well off the pace at the moment due to that time lost in pit lane, and will fall well down the leaderboard as the later riders come through. That's 19 now, Mikey Evans, and followed closely on the road by 18, Craig Neve. They're both safely through on their second lap. Evans goes into 9th place at the moment, and Craig Neve into 10th. But Josh Brooks was in 8th place at the grandstand, so when he gets here, he will push the leaderboard further out. Sam West through now, and Rob Hodson. And Hodson now muscles his way into the top 10, but they're not disturbing that top 5. Dean Harrison leads Michael Rutter by 25 seconds. Number 2 leads number 4 by 25 seconds. In 3rd place, number 10, Connor Cummins. He's 3.5 seconds down on Rutter. In 4th place, number 7, Gary Johnson. He's 1 second back on Cummins. And making up your top 5, number 1, Horst Zeiger. He is just 7 seconds back on Gary Johnson. Back to you at the grandstand.
2 retirements in the pits, number 16 Danny Webb and number 31 Julian Trummer. I can tell you Josh Brooks was 8th here at the grandstand at 121.38, and the team have set him a target of 123.5 to match the Hizzy lap at the senior in 1992 in the famous battle with Carl Fogarty. They're hoping with the late start that he's on the boat this evening. He's going to be going in his own interest as quickly as possible in order to try and make the boat this evening. But 8th he is at the grandstand at the end of lap 1. We did hear Hillier had stopped at Glen Helen to make some adjustments. No further news on him. He was much further back in the order, but it's a 28.2 second advantage at Belaf Bridge that Harrison has over Rutter, and Belaf to Belaf 126.95. It was 126.8 Glen Helen to Glen Helen. So Dean is on a flyer. Let's go to Ramsey. Roy Moore.
He certainly is, because he's here with us now. Sweeps out of Stella Maris, not quite as far out at this time as thing, but the back end goes light as he gets it down, swaying it into the Ramsey hairpin, but tight down and then stick right behind the bubble. So Dean Harrison here. I can tell you James Hillier did go through Ramsey hairpin here later on after making those adjustments, so he is on the course somewhere. And certainly the lights now standing out as they go away towards the waterworks, and certainly at this speed they need to be on that pace to get the 4 laps in. Horst Zeiger, I think, is the next to break the beam down the road at White Gates, and certainly a distinctive green fairing comes into Ramsey Hairpin, and he too getting the back end light as that front brake is applied as much as possible to get it round Ramsey Hairpin. 45 seconds is the difference between him and Dean Harrison, but it all depends on the battle between Michael Rutter and Connor Cummins. There was only 3 seconds in it at Ballaugh Bridge as they went over that humpback bridge by the Raven. Michael Rutter, 28 seconds he was down on Dean Harrison. I don't think that's going to change much, because him starting at number 4 and Dean Harrison going at the pace that he is probably will be a slowing down for fuel, and then fuel on board and out. So the only 2 riders through Ramsey Hairpin at the moment are Dean Harrison and Horse Saiga, but it's going to change very, very quickly indeed. And what is going to be that gap? Gary Johnson should be the next interview, and Paul Jordan, number 6, who was the first on. It's Gary Johnson who's got ahead of Paul Jordan on the road, but he's sticking with him, and certainly tight down to the inside and away, and much good line there from Paul Jordan. He got it really angled. You can hear the back wheel gripping as he gets up through what are probably still the relatively dank patches going up towards the waterworks. 35 seconds the difference between him and but it's Connor Cummins and Gary Johnson that we're looking for. Here is Connor now. He's got second place by 1.5 seconds at Ramsey. His granny will be delighted down there on the estate on my left hand side. Number 10, Connor Cummins, 34 seconds down on Dean Harrison as he chimes the Paget 4-cylinder in on the way to Waterworks, but he's now 1.5 seconds ahead off in third place. Number 7, Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson in turn is 9.5 seconds ahead off number 1, Horse Saiga. Paul Jordan moves into that 5th place, 12 seconds ahead behind Horse Saiga. This is number 8, David Johnson, I think. Yes, certainly it is. Oh, he gets that one a little bit wrong, and he's looking down at the left-hand side of the machine as he goes. And I think he's easing back a little bit on the way up to the waterworks. Certainly he wasn't quite on the right line, and he's kind of rolling it back, so there's a possibility, a bit of a problem there for him, and that will move probably Andy Dudgeon, who should be the next here, should move him ahead, and it certainly has. So problems for, looks like, David Johnson, because there is number 13, Andy Dudgeon through, and he's only 6 seconds down. Up in 5th place, Paul Jordan, so no change in the top 4. It's Harrison from Cummins, from Johnson, from Saiga. In 5th then, number 6, Paul Jordan, 12 seconds down on Horse Saiga. And in 6th place now, Andy Dudgeon, 6 seconds only, 6.5 seconds down on Paul Jordan. And back into 7th place now goes number 8. Number 8, that is David Johnson, although he was holding on to 9th when they went through Ballaugh Bridge, because Josh Brooks, who he probably won't get through here at Ramsey, was holding on to that 7th place at Ballaugh. Another machine interview gets round. That's Davey Todd, number 12, and Jamie Coward should be here with us now, but with all those problems he had in and around the pits, it seems to be going well, and he seems to be going well as well. But certainly off the riders through so far, number 9, Jamie Coward, is 45 seconds behind Davey Todd, who in turn is 30 seconds behind. In 7th place, number 8, David Johnson. David Johnson in turn now 21 seconds down on Andy Dudgeon. But certainly Craig Neve is one to be considered to be amongst us, and Michael Evans as well. Well, certainly in the deteriorating light conditions, there's no possibility at all of not spotting number 19, Michael Evans, and number 25, Rob Hodson, is through Ramsey Hairpin as well. Where does he slot into the equation here at Ramsey? There he is there now, just tipping it over, and they had problems, and he got out on that lap, but it's certainly sounding well, and he too gets tucked in behind the bubble, and he's holding on to 7th place. Rob Hodson, number 25, 16 seconds down, mind you, on Andy Dudgeon, but only 4.5 seconds ahead of number 8, David Johnson. But we felt as David Johnson went away, he had a few problems. Back to the grandstand.
The light has just flicked on there for number 2, Dean Harrison at Cronknamona. A couple more retirements in the pits. Number 43, Richard Wilson, and also number 5, James Hillier. He came in as well. We heard he was making adjustments out there at Ramsey, at Glen Helen, I should say. But so far, number 2, Dean Harrison, the only one to Cronknamona. Rutter has retired at Balacry. Perfectly okay. Michael Rutter, perfectly okay, retired at Balacry. That's why he didn't go through at Ramsey. So Connor is still in second place at the Bungalow, 36.9 down on Harrison. Horse Saiga is indicated here at Cronknamona as well. Light on for number 1 as we look up through the slightly increasing gloom to see Dean Harrison. He is going to have to slow down, of course, to come into the pits, and here he is putting the anchors on. And very smoothly done as well. 126.041 miles per hour. Huh, what a lap from Dino. Let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, as you quite rightly say, 36 seconds. It is the lead that he has over Connor at the Bungalow. Then Gary Johnson 2.7 back. Horse Saiga 9 seconds back. But if you look back to Glen Helen, it's Josh Brooks 7th at Glen Helen. Absolutely great performance. Stays 7th in Balaf. And then through Ramsey, not sure if he's through Ramsey, he is. And he's also 7th, but he's only 0.1 behind Andy Dudgeon, who's in 6th though. Dean Harrison's fuel going in, no change of tyres for these boys. The Silicon Engineering Kawasaki just getting a bit of refuel, and Dean also as well. His Horse Saiga on the number 1 at Kawasaki, similar machine to what Dean is on, and hopefully he's going to get to his right pit, and he's just been told to cut the engine. You hear him just the chain just rippling off as he goes past us. Dean, good pit stop by the Silicon team as always. Tim O'Hanlon's got that up and running here. We'll give you the split in a minute. I'll give you horse lap time. Horse was 123.619, and that's Dean Harrison. Look out the top of Bray Hill, he is on the way. Dean Harrison's pit stop, 57.6 seconds for Dean Harrison. As we look back to Cronknamona, we got Connor Cummins, Gary Johnson and Paul Jordan in there at the moment, and Connor's back 38.93 seconds back, 38.937. He's pulled a little bit more from the Bungalow on Gary Johnson. He's pulled about a second from Gary Johnson from the Bungalow down to Cronknamona. So you hear the klaxon go. It's going to get busy here at the moment. James Hillier is an interested spectator, and here's Gaz Johnson in as Horse Saiga leaves number 1. Gary's just a little bit further down, and Paul Jordan is in here too. The man from Macrofelt, he's in here now and stops number 6 and number 7 both in for their pit stops. So Gary, is he holding on to that 3rd place? We'll get that split in a minute. Horse Saiga's pit stop 57.856. Gary Johnson 40.911 back off Dean Harrison, but it's Connor we're waiting for. The big 2-stroke bike, the YZR 500, the Yamaha, the V4. It's into the old stop box, halfway down, about quarter of the way down pit lane, and he stops at number 10 bike, one to about the 15th pit down from the top. So the Padgett's team, as always, very, very drilled in this. Gary Johnson is in 2nd at the moment, but when it updates in a second, Connor will be jumping into that, and let's see what it's going to make with the pit stop. Gary's team, the Suzuki team, working hard down there. So Connor's 37.5 back off Dean Harrison. That's Paul Jordan getting away. Gary Johnson 3.4 back. So Gary has got 0.3 back off Connor coming into the pits. Connor's lap time 124.3 for Connor, 123.8 for Gaz Johnson. Horst, as we said, 123.6. Gary's still in the pits, so maybe losing a little bit of time as Gary Johnson there. And Gary's only got an 8-second gap into the pits on Horse Saiga, but then we got Paul Jordan 15.6 back of Horst in that 5th place. Hear the klaxon go once more as we look up the road, and it's number 8, it's Davo Johnson. Sounded like, I think Gary Johnson had a problem there when he went over the top of St Ninians. By gum, that was tight between Connor, and she's not fired as of yet. Yeah, there she goes. Nice and easy, 13 the Dudge. Andy Dudgeon is in. Andy holding into provisionally at the moment through Cronknamona around about 6th place. Here Connor going away, that 500 onto the pipe. Oh, listen to that. Power valves open up and away he goes. Andy Dudgeon, let's have a little look. Andy slots in the 6th at the moment. Tim O'Hanlon after the pit stop. Was Gary Johnson a bit slow?
Gary Johnson was a bit slow. Connor Cummins was slower still. So that's going to give Dean Harrison a lead of for 56 seconds.
After the pit stops, it's gone from 37 to 56. Wow.
Yeah.
That's quite a big jump. Okay, we are waiting, of course, for our man Josh Brooks. He won't be through anywhere near yet, though, but there you go, Tim. Dean Harrison in command.
He certainly is, and he's increased that hold on the race in the pits. Connor was slow, and David Johnson, we can confirm, is a retirement. He was getting off the bike as Chris was giving all those splits and times, as number 9 is in now, Jamie Coward. Dean Harrison then, that last lap, 126.041 miles per hour, 17 minutes 57.651 seconds. Connor Cummins 124.301. Gary Johnson 123.864. Horst Seiger 123.619. And just going to look back to Cronknamona and see if the lights are on there for... no, Rob Hodson's indicated there, but we're waiting, of course, for Josh Brooks and see exactly where he is. Gary Johnson, I can tell you, is a retirement at Quarterbridge. Gary Johnson, a retirement at Quarterbridge. So number 7 is out. Paul Jordan, 122.445 miles per hour for lap 2. Andrew Dudgeon, 122.100 miles per hour. Rob Hodson, 121.161. Michael Evans, 120.113. David Johnson, 117.399 miles per hour. Davey Todd, 117.047. How's it going to pan out? Who's behind Dean Harrison? We'll find out at Glen Helen. Dave Christian.
Yes, welcome back, Tim. That's Dean Harrison wrestling the bike around that corner. And just as quick as he was on the last 2 laps as well. So he doesn't look to have any issues at all at the moment. So Dean Harrison safely through here on his 3rd lap and looking good with it too. 37 seconds the advantage for Harrison over Connor at the grandstand. But of course we've heard Tim O'Hanlon's lightning calculations, and 56 is the number we're looking for. 56 seconds was Tim's estimation of the difference. And Gary Johnson dropping out will move everybody else up one as well. Horst Seiger, Paul Jordan, Andy Dudgeon all shuffle up that leaderboard, and we'll shake it out as they come through here. Here's Horst Seiger now. Gets that big green bike over onto its left-hand side as he gets onto the power and makes his climb up towards Sarah's cottage for the penultimate time this afternoon. 53 seconds the difference between Hamilton and Seiger, but we do expect to see Connor Cummins coming in between those two when he gets here. And of course Horst Seiger now with a podium position, and at the entry into pit lane at least he had a 16-second advantage over 5th place Paul Jordan, so looks like Horst could be in a comfortable position in 3rd, depending on how things are shaken out after those pit stops. There were nothing significant from the speed trap speeds at lap 2 at Sulby. Dean Harrison the quickest, 173.4. Horst Seiger 167.8. Gary Johnson 166.5. Andy Dudgeon 165.7. And Connor 164.1. And here's Paul Jordan safely through here. And the gap between Seiger and Jordan was, let's have a look, Seiger and Jordan was 16 seconds at the grandstand. It's 18 seconds here, so Horst just pulling away from Paul Jordan there a little bit after those pit stops. Gained an extra couple of seconds, so there's a little bit more comfort from Horst Seiger as he defends his podium place against Paul Jordan. As we await the arrival of Connor Cummins on the Paget's Yamaha, and he will, if everything's gone okay, he will drop into 2nd place. But all we're conscious of is how big the difference is going to be. Here's the big man now. Onto the power, and he does drop into the top 3, but it's not in 2nd, it's in 3rd. Horst Seiger has claimed 2nd place after those pit stops. Horst Seiger moves into 2nd place. He's 53 seconds down on the leader, Dean Harrison, with number 10, Connor Cummins, in 3rd place. He's 9 seconds back on Seiger. And in 4th place, number 6, Paul Jordan, who's 9 seconds down on Cummins. So a little bit of work to do for the Paget's Yamaha after that pit stop. Cost them a little bit of time there in getting the bike started up again and back out onto the course. But Josh Brooks at the entry into pit lane, he came into 10th place. But of course, Davo Johnson and Gary Johnson have both dropped out in since those pit stops. So Josh Brooks is going to move up another couple of places. That's 13. Andy Dudgeon through. Andy Dudgeon holds 5th place at the moment, 11 seconds down on 4th place Paul Jordan. As we await the arrival of the next man on the road, I think we should be looking for probably Davey Todd, number 12. He looked to be around about the same time, and he should be not too far away from Andy Dudgeon now. Some of those higher numbers we were looking at, Forrest Dunn's worthy of an eye. Number 62 started 23rd. He was up to 14th. He's going to gain a couple of places now. Jay Lawrence, the newcomer, number 83, started 40th at Glen Helen on lap 2. He was up to 26th. Mark Parrott, big jumper in the midfield, started in 42nd place, up to 22nd at Glen Helen on lap 2. That's number 49, Mark Parrott. Also worthy of note, number 46, Josh Daly, started 34th. He was up to 20th. As another bike flashes out at Glen Helen 2, the little flick to the right, onto the brakes, down the box one, into the left-hander, and that is number 9, Jamie Coward. Jamie Coward a little bit off the pace after his problems in the pits at the end of the first lap, and 12 comes through. That's Davey Todd. Todd drops into 6th place on our leaderboard at the moment, but at Glen Helen on lap 3, your leader is number 2, Dean Harrison. He has a 53-second advantage over number 1, Horst Zeiger, and making up your podium places is number 10, 3rd place, number 10, Connor Cummins, 9 seconds down on Zeiger. Back to you at the grandstand.
CMC Motorcycles have been buying and selling thousands of used bikes and new Yamahas since 1975. It's quick and easy to sell your bike to CMC with finance settled and free UK collection. Just visit buymybike.co.uk. View hundreds of CMC's new and used bikes for sale on cmcbikes.com and see why CMC are 5-time winners of Motorcycle News Awards. We're also a premier Yamaha dealer and proud sponsors of Ian Hutchinson. If it's bikes, it's CMC.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT.
Josh Brooks has retired in the pits, was down on time, certainly on that second lap, and Craig Neve, we're hearing, is retired just past the Cregna Bar. At Belap Bridge, I can confirm that Connor Cummins is still in 3rd. Zeiger is 56.2 behind the leader, Harrison. Cummins 8.3 now behind Zeiger, and in 4th place at Belap Bridge is Paul Jordan, 14.8 seconds now back on Connor Cummins. Wayne Axon is a retirement at Glen Duff. Gary Johnson, we told you about at Quarterbridge, and David Johnson was picked up a retirement in the pits. So we've had 13 retirements in all. At the Sulby Speed Trap, it's still Dean Harrison at 173 this time around, but 173.9 is his quickest through there, so very consistent through the Sulby Speed Trap. Andrew Dudgeon is at Belap Bridge now. He's 6.8 down on Jordan, but let's go to Roy Moore at Ramsey Hairpin.
RST Superbike Classic TT, lap number 3. The beam has been broken. Dean Harrison, the man doing it, and certainly leading on the road and leading the race by 56 seconds and safely through Ramsey. As another machine comes into view, we'll have to pick up our score chart to get that. I think it was number 46 that went through there on that. Was it? No. 60, number 60, my man tells me. So we always have these roundabout, and it was Neil Champion who went through on the Kawasaki, so overtaken by the race leader on the run. And we were aware that Michael Rutter hadn't made Ramsey Hairpin on the previous lap, and we're just awaiting confirmation. So another retirement there, and there seems to have been quite a few gone out on this, the second lap. Well, certainly the second lap, but Dean Harrison, no problem at all. Horst Zeiger should be here with us now, and he's maintaining that advantage, we feel, over Connor Cummins. Certainly was 9 seconds at Belaf, but Horst Zeiger is through, 57 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but sounding good. Number 1, he started the race. Horst Zeiger, 57 seconds down on Dean Harrison, but he's got that battle to maintain that, because Connor Cummins, after a slowish pit stop, it was 8 seconds, 8.3 in fact, behind him at Belaf Bridge, but he had a comfortable 14-second advantage through Belaf over number 6, Paul Jordan. And then down to the top 5, Andy Dudgeon, he was only 7 seconds down on Paul Jordan, so that will be all rectified here as they've fueled, and they'll be out for the second lap. It was interesting to see the arrival of number 41, Ollie Linsdell, and certainly that front forks on that particular machine, I think it's Yamaha motor based, but certainly it handles very well and brakes steadily. Remind me of the old MotoGP when Ron Haslam rode the Elf with those unique type of forks on the front. But certainly Ollie Linsdell through. This is the one we're looking for though, Paul Jordan, number 6. Same Mistral Racing on the side, and he gets it round, goes up the left hand side away from the Ramsey hairpin up towards the waterworks. 27 seconds down he is now on Horse Saiger, so Horse Saiger is going well, and certainly it will have to be to the arrival of Connor Cummins before we can jockey anything in. It looks as though it's been maintained that Horse Saiger really is on the move. He's still got that 9-second advantage over Connor here at Ramsey, so Connor safely through. No time to stop for a coffee this time, but certainly there will be later. And away he goes and gets it chimed in, so it's Dean Harrison by 57. Well, say 58 seconds, it's 57.938 to be absolutely precise. 58 seconds the difference between number 2 Dean Harrison and number 1 Horse Saiger. A further then to in third place number 10 Connor Cummins. He's 8.969 seconds down on Horse Saiger, but has a comfortable 18-second advantage over in fourth place number 6 Paul Jordan. That was 14 seconds at Balaf Bridge, so it's an indication really that Horse Saiger really is flying, and that would be the way it's been shown there. Can Andy Dudgeon hold on to that fifth place, or can he move up to fourth? Well, he could do if he could get back 5.2 seconds, because he's now in fifth place. Number 13 Andy Dudgeon safely through Ramsey on lap number 3. 5.2 seconds only down in fifth place, off in fourth place number 6 Paul Jordan. So that's all that's through at the moment. The retirement rate has come in and kind of sorted things out a little bit. Through Balaf Bridge, Michael Evans, another one of the locals there, double Manx Grand Prix winner from last year, was 58 seconds down in fact on Andy Dudgeon. We still had to look out. Jamie Coward was kind of maintaining after that a bit of a disappointment in the pits, but certainly there. And Forrest Dunn now through Balaf Bridge up to 9th place, number 62, 25 seconds down on Jamie Coward, but holding an 11-second advantage over in 10th place through Balaf, number 15 Sam West. Next machine interview, it looks as though he possibly will be Jamie Coward. Yeah, he sweeps it out through Stella Maris, really, really good, and gets it anchored up. The left knee comes out, tight to the wall on the inside, and then tight to the wall on the outside. That is the way it goes. One of the competitors in the parade lap got it a bit too tight on the right-hand side going out. It was a Slippery Sam replica road bike, the Triumph 3. But Dean Harrison by 57 seconds. Can Connor make inroads to get that second place? He's 9 seconds down on Horse Saiger in second. Back to the grandstand.
See one of the largest selections of motorcycles available in the UK online at cmcbikes.com. With hundreds of new and used bikes available at branches across the Midlands and South Wales. CMC can arrange finance subject to status. We welcome part exchanges and deliver nationwide. CMC Motorcycles, a premier Yamaha dealer and proud sponsors of Ian Hutchinson. Visit us in store or online at cmcbikes.com. If it's bikes, it's CMC.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT.
It's 3 Manx people are in the top 6 looking at Ramsey hairpin. Connor Cummins in 3rd, 5th Andrew Dudgeon, and 6th Michael Evans. But the light is on for our leader, number 2 Dean Harrison at Cronk Nimona. At the bungalow he was 59.3 seconds ahead of Horse Saiger, and in 3rd Connor Cummins 8.8 down on Saiger, but not really able to make any inroads into the advantage that Saiger holds. It's steady around 9 seconds at each of the transponder timing points. But Dean Harrison, you'd assume, is getting pretty good boards out there, and he'll just be trying to maintain the gap he has, manage his way to a victory, and doing a cracking job at the moment to win at Classic TT. Of course, you've got to finish, and he's got one more lap ahead of him in order to register that. So we should see the Silicone Engineering Kawasaki of Dean Harrison come into view very shortly. Could start to hear the bike coming towards us. We'll see it emerging from the trees. There it is. of course, including the pit stop, 118.01 miles per hour for Dean Harrison. Horst Seiger is at Cronknamona. Light is on for number 1, and he's 58 seconds down on Harrison at Cronknamona. Just quickest through the speed trap, Ollie Linsdell. It's gone quickly there through 172.1. But it is Horst Seiger now that should come hoving into view here at the grandstand as the it is fairly dark here now as they set out on their last lap. Here he is, the Greenhill Racing Kawasaki. And let's see, 117.26 miles per hour for Horst Seiger. Leads just come down slightly a second. 57.087 seconds is the advantage that Dean Harrison enjoys over second place number 1 Horst Seiger as they go out onto their 4th and final lap here at the RST Superbike Classic TT. The light is on for number 6 Paul Jordan. Of course, Connor Cummins number 10 to slot in ahead of Paul Jordan, we assume, and Connor is ahead. He's 10.3 now, so he's fallen away from Horst Seiger. 10.3 back on Seiger, but he's 22.2 seconds ahead of Paul Jordan, number 6. So it should be Neil Champion and Paul Jordan coming through. Champion will be coming into the pits, we assume. And then we will see Paul Jordan go past us. There he is. And a lap for Paul Jordan of 115.5. Neil Champion, number 60, 86.82 miles per hour. But let's wait for the Ramsey Rocket Connor Cummins to come into view on that beautiful Padgett's bike. Here he is. And 11.5 seconds back on Horst Seiger. He is now in 3rd position. And the gap then to Paul Jordan just come in a little bit, half a second. 21.7 is the margin that Cummins has the advantage over number 6, Paul Jordan. Light is on for number 13, Andrew Dudgeon at Cronknamona. And number 60, Neil Champion heads out from his pit stop. Connor Cummins 140.90 miles per hour on the lap, which of course does include the pit stop at the end of lap 2, beginning of lap 3. Again, we can hear the bike on this still evening now. Here he is. And that is Andrew Dudgeon, 116.03. And Dudgeon, he's just 2.2 seconds down on Paul Jordan. Dudgeon in 5th, Paul Jordan in 4th. So that's one to keep an eye on this last lap. As Jamie Coward, number 9, the light is on for him at Cronknamona. So he will be next across the line here at the grandstand. And the lights really shining off the iconic scoreboards opposite the grandstand here as the gloom descends. It's been a darkish end to the afternoon. No real sunshine, just a heavy layer of grey cloud over the island. But at the bungalow, we can see Michael Evans is still in 6th position. But let's go to Glen Helen. Dave Christian.
Yes, thanks, Tim. We're just awaiting the arrival of the first man on the road. A couple of higher start numbers just whipping their way through, but this looks much quicker than a higher start number. It's Dean Harrison, your race leader. No mistake from Dino. Round the long sweeping left-hander here, straight onto the power, as neat and tidy as he was on lap 1, so he's not got any problems there at all. Up ahead of him, less than a minute ahead of Dean's passage through here, we had 2 higher start numbers through, 79 and 81, Pete Creer and Andy Cowie. So he's got a little bit of traffic up, and then ahead of them, number 65, Alec Whitwell, but he might be another minute or so in front. And Colin Croft was, 30 seconds or so ahead of Whitwell. So there are potentially 4 bikes up ahead of Dean Harrison. I suspect he's going to get in amongst Pete Creer and Andy Cowie, so that could slow him down a little bit, but I don't think so. The form he's showing today, it's not going to be a problem for him. Here's Horst Seiger safely through on his last passage today. And the gap was 57 seconds at the grandstand. It's 59.8. We'll call that 1 minute. It's near as damn it a minute. So Dean Harrison has a 1 minute lead, and he needs to start thinking about motorcycle conservation. He's got to make sure he gets back to the finish line to win the race, and he can't continue to wring its neck like he's doing. Surely he must start to think about getting the bike home. But he has a very comfortable lead, a 1 minute advantage over number 1 Horst Seiger. And again, a little bit of traffic in front, but I suspect if he gets them at the right spot, it's not going to hold him up, and he's got plenty of time to play with. The interesting one is Andy Dudgeon and Paul Jordan. Paul Jordan in 4th place at the grandstand, and Andy Dudgeon in 5th. The gap at the grandstand is only 2 seconds, and it looks like Paul Jordan's either got some sort of issue, or either that, or he's throttled back quite a bit, because it was 11 seconds here, the gap between Jordan and Dudgeon on lap 3, and now down to 2 seconds. So looks like Andy Dudgeon might just steal that 4th place from Paul Jordan if he's not careful. But we'll keep an eye on that one when they both get here. And here is the first of those two. That is Paul Jordan. Hot and heavy onto the brakes there. He braked a lot harder than he should have had to. I suspect his problem could well be a braking issue, but he managed to get it round and got onto the power and made that climb away. And the gap between Horst Seiger and Paul Jordan is 37 seconds. Hang on, here's the big man. It's Connor. Makes his last lap here and is straight onto the power. He doesn't look like he's got any problems. 11 seconds the gap between Horst Seiger and Connor Cummins, and 11 seconds it was at the grandstand. Connor's maybe got 4/10 out of him, but other than that he's pretty steady. So nothing, no late charge from Cummins there to pull up Horst Seiger. Paul Jordan, on the other hand, was 21 seconds behind Cummins at the grandstand. He's now 26 seconds, so there's another 5 seconds leaked there between Paul Jordan and Connor Cummins, and I think Andy Dudgeon might just sneak in there. Just watch out for number 13 when he gets through, and he should be the next man on the road as well. Number 13, Andy Dudgeon, fastest man in qualifying as well, so he's on the pace this week. And can he steal that 4th place from Jordan? Here's the next machine on the road. It is Dudge. Pulls it down, gets onto the power, and makes that climb away, and he's ahead. Andy Dudgeon has taken Paul Jordan. So number 13, Andy Dudgeon, moves into 4th place. He is 26 seconds down on 3rd place Cummins, but now has a 0.6 of a second advantage over number 6, Paul Jordan. And just looking at the way Jordan came into the corner here, hot and heavy, late braking. Could be a braking problem that he's had, and it is just slowing him up where he needs to get onto the anchors into what is quite a tight corner. But Harrison leads. He has a minute advantage and looks pretty comfortable with it. And the gap between Horst Seiger in 2nd and Connor Cummins in 3rd not really shifting at all, so that looks quite comfortable too. And there is a higher start number coming through, so they have encountered traffic already. That's number 60, Neil Champion, going through here for the 3rd time. He's got another lap to do yet. And that may well have caught up with some of the leaders. Here's a quicker moving bike, though. This is the number 9 of Jamie Coward. And Jamie Coward unfortunately had to stop at the end of lap 1 to make some adjustments in the pit lane. And sadly that's pushed him down the reckoning a little bit. 7th place he was at the grandstand. But we do need number 9, Mikey Evans, through before we can do that. And I suspect we're going to run out of time. The final lap of this RST Superbike Classic TT. Your leader at Glen Helen on lap 4 is Dean Harrison. He has a minute advantage over number 1 Horst Seiger, and making up your top 3, it's number 10 Connor Cummins, 11 seconds back on Seiger. Back to you at the grandstand.
Rob Hodson is a retirement at Balagary. Mark Parrott is a retirement at Kirkmichael at Douglas Road Corner. And Paul Jordan is now a retirement at Handley's Corner. Number 6, Paul Jordan, a retirement at Handley's Corner. Alan Brodie and Ben Ray have just gone across the line, and be great action down there on Bray Hill that you'll have just witnessed. And for the final time during the Isle of Man Festival of Motorcycling, we hand for the Classic TT to Roy Moore, and I'm sure he can say his thank yous because this has got a little bit strung out now. Dean Harrison's well in charge, Roy.
He certainly is. I don't think it will make up for the disappointment of not getting that senior TT win at the odd few seconds after that fantastic last lap by Peter Hickman, but certainly a win round the mountain course is good indeed. And as we mentioned before, already a 750 winner on a Triumph Trident, would you believe? But Dean Harrison has made Ramsey on his final lap. Down through the box back end, he's not slacking off one bit. Beautiful riding. The RST Superbike Classic looks to be his, and away he goes up down the centre, up the centre of the line, up towards the waterworks. Yes, we do thank Pat O'Hanlon and my engineer Matt Cunningham here for all the company that we've had during the day. It has been a long day, but there's only a few miles left in it for certain riders. Second machine interview, and I think this is one of the ones that we were talking about. It is number 75, and 75 is Heffernan Owen, and he's followed by, I think that was 61 that went through on that one. Yeah, 81, so we just go further down. Andrew Cowie. Well, the mayor of Ramsey is safely through his hometown as well, and I suppose all the citizens will be out waving to him, but they'll be waving to this man as well because he has really settled in. Horst Seiger, he's through. He's a minute down on Dean Harrison, which indicates that he's held virtually exactly the same on the run from Balaf Bridge here to Ramsey. Horst Seiger, and he had that 10-second advantage over Conor Cummins, who is not due here yet. Good news for Michael Russell. I think he started at the back of the field. I would suggest the time he went through Ramsey Hairpin here, holding on to 10th place, that his ambition at the start of the race is going to be maintained, and he will be let out on the final lap. And certainly it was top 10. He was in 10th place. And remember, the old RC30 is only a 750. Whereas the boys at the front are running the big 1000cc's, apart from Connor, who I think is just on the 500cc version, but certainly that is the case. So through Balaf Bridge, it was Dean Harrison by 1 minute and 1 second. From second place, Horst Seiger. Horst Seiger held on to a 10.5 second advantage over in third place Conor Cummins, so if he maintains that through, well then it will be another podium. Podiums in TT week and podiums in Classic TT in Manx Grand Prix week. Certainly that is the case. Andy Dudgeon, number 13, well, he was 26 seconds down at Balaf Bridge on Conor Cummins, whilst in fifth place, 9, Jamie Coward, he was 1 minute and 44, but we're expecting that to change, although the way the retirement's coming in, certainly that might not be the case. Conor Cummins is here at Ramsey. He's still 10 seconds down on Horst Seiger. Listen to the big four go away from Ramsey. Has a quick look over his left shoulder to see is there anybody about, but there isn't, because certainly there's only 3 machines through Ramsey Hairpin. Number 2, Dean Harrison. Number 1, Horst Seiger. And number 10, Conor Cummins. Ben Ray was good on the big Bermotor. Brute of a machine to handle round here, but 24 Ben Ray, no 42 it was, I think, Ben Wiley that was doing good things with that particular one. And also 36 Tom Whedon was one to watch out for as well. Certainly the name Whedon is not unfamiliar to TT racing. I think it was John Whedon that used to be a campaigner of the TZs, but now into classic restoration, I do believe. I don't know whether there's any family connection. I do believe we've talked that through before, and there isn't, but 13 is here now. That's Andy Dudgeon. He's through Ramsey. and accelerates it away. The machine chimes in and he's away. He's 27 seconds down on Connor Cummins, so that's not likely to change, I wouldn't have thought, on the trip over the mountain. But whether Connor can get anything back off that 9.8 seconds that he's down on Horse Saiga, well, again, that remains to be seen. I suppose the news from the bungalow you're wanting to hear is that Dean Harrison has made the mountain climb, and he certainly has. Dean Harrison safely through the bungalow on the last lap, so everything will be all tensioned up now in the Silicon Engineering team to make sure that he gets that machine to the finish. He's dominated this race. Horse Saiga is also through the bungalow, and he's just a couple of seconds lost on the mountain climb. He's 1 minute and 3 seconds down now on the race leader, as Jamie Coward, after an eventful race, should be the next we see here at Ramsey Hairpin coming into view. Just about see him coming into view at that as well, number 9. Listen to him go away. So whatever it was, it's certainly not affecting it now. He's 1 minute and 44 seconds down on Andrew Dudgeon, mind you, so there's no danger of anything changing on that, and certainly that is the case there. So Southern 100 champion Dean Harrison, as we say, just missed out on a TT win, but looks as though he's heading for victory here, safely through the bungalow. I probably will just have about time to get Connor to indicate that he is through the bungalow as well, and that will give you your podium men through and see what the difference is between us. But certainly from Ramsey Hairpin for the final time on today, back to the grandstand.
Light has been on for several seconds now at Cronknamona for Dean Harrison. Just give you some more retirements before, though. Davy Todd retired at Greeba Castle at the Pear Tree. Ben Wiley has retired at Cronknamona. But it's Dean Harrison we're waiting to applaud to another TT victory, a classic TT victory, 2 TT wins. But he has also had 2 classic TT wins, so he should be coming across the line any moment now. The 29-year-old from Bradford about to do back-to-back wins at the RST Superbike Classic TT. He takes the checkered flag, sits up. The applause rings out for him, and that is a 3rd Classic TT victory for Dean Harrison. 124.238 miles per hour on the final lap. He was comfortably in command, getting the good boards as he went round, and he just, took it a bit easier, just made sure he got the bike back home, and he has, and he's coming up the return lane now. We'll confirm 2nd and 3rd as they come through, but let's go down to Chris Kinley.
Yeah, thanks very much, Tim. The world's media's here. Get ready for some photographs. He's been told he's in the number 1 position. Gets a good round of applause for Dean. No burnout. They're waiting for the burnout. Stevie was all waiting for the burnout, and all the boys. Silicon team are here, all in for the big hug. We'll let them get in first. Well done, mate. He says Horse Saiga is in, and Horse was 3rd last year, so Horse moves up 1 place to 2nd this year, so well done to Horst. Looking at the front of the bike there, there's not many flies at all, so it is quite cool out here. And as Mark Tiley, our social media producer, is telling us here now, it is very, very dark. So there we go, Dean. Mum's in straight away. Let him get the showy lid off. And let's get into Dean if we can. And, well, the photographs have been taken. Stevie Davison was wanting the burnout then for his pictures.
I know, it's a bit fragile for that, to be honest. If I didn't have burnt out, I think David had clipped me around ear-hole, it being a bit of a classic event and all that. So I know the bike was meant, to be honest. It was really good. I got a really crap start, to be honest. I felt, because we've had such big, long delays, and it's not been the best week for practice and all the rest of it. Sometimes you go out and you just don't feel 100%. And the first lap I felt really wooden. I got into a bit of a run and I thought, right, I felt like if anybody wanted to go, I could have gone really fast. But no, I really enjoyed it. I'd like to say massive thanks to all the crowd, to be honest, and all the marshals, because one thing, the marshals have been stood out in and out, and they've been rained on and all the rest of it through the week. So massive thanks to them and the crowd the whole way around the track, and everyone waving me on that last lap and waving their hands over the wall and programs and stuff like that. It means a lot to me, to be honest. It creates the atmosphere that this place gives you.
Classic TT, 126, just over 126 the quickest lap.
Yeah, no, honestly, if I needed to go faster, I felt like I couldn't, and I just got to a point I kept getting pulling. And it's an old bike. You've got to try and be mechanically sympathetic with these things. I didn't over-rev it. I was shifting at 12 and keeping an eye on everything and all the rest of it. I just, wanted to bring it home in one piece for all the lads because they weren't flat out all week. They weren't flat out all year, never mind all week. Do you know what I mean? The first one's there in the morning, last one's there at the night. First one's to the bar, last one's to leave. So it's...
Depends if Clarissa's doing a party, doesn't it?
Mate, consistency is key at this game, so they're definitely consistent.
Consistently at the bar. Clear visor, that must have played in because it's a bit dark now, isn't it?
Yeah, to be honest, the conditions are really good, to be honest. Odd damp patch here and there, but with there being a bit of cloud cover, you've got no sunlight with it being quite late evening. Sometimes if you race this late at night, you can get really bad sun in your eyes. But tonight, it was absolutely perfect, to be honest. Don't get an odd damp patch, is what you expect through governors and here and there, but apart from that, it was absolutely spot on. So I'd like to say a massive thanks again. Cheers.
Got to ask you, this is your last ride this year on the mountain circuit of the Silicon team. You're going to be back with them for next year. I think you confirmed that. Is that definite for next year?
Yeah, no, I'll definitely be back here next year again with the Silicon team and all the lads. And we've still got four BSBs still now from here to Silverstone, so I'm looking forward to that. It's another bit of a challenge I've got on the go, so I'll definitely be.
Many congratulations on the double win. Well done.
Cheers, thank you.
Well done, Dino. Thanks very much. And Horse is here, and well, he said to me before the start of the race, I wish I was going off at number 75. Third last year, second this year. Many congratulations, Horse Saiger.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Talk us through the race.
First board was B10. I thought before the race, maybe with my speed, maybe between B5 and B8. And then second board, when it came down, he showed me B3. Then I wasn't sure if it's my board or something, someone else's. So, but yeah, what should I say?
Well, I can tell you in the pit stop, your team made up 18 seconds on Connor's team there, so that's where you managed to get back in there. Michael Rutter went out, Paul Jordan was there too, lots of other people, Gary Johnson was in there too. So, by the end of the day, it's classic racing, isn't it? You have to be here at the end, don't you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Quite good.
That's now we prove that the medium rider can go on second place with a top bike. No, really many thanks to the Green Horse. A fantastic bike and a fantastic pit stop. Perfect.
When you were lying in the hedge when you broke your wrist early on this year, did you think you'd be back here doing this in August, September?
Yes. No. I had some really bad times. And now it's one of the best days in my life. Huh?
Well done, Horse. Nice to see you. And smiling as always.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Horse Saiger gets to second place, and we'll move over to Connor. Gives the missus a kiss, which is the important part. Just get past the chap. Oh, God. So now I've got to wait for Davison just to take a picture. Go on, Stephen. Get the missus. She's talking. There we go. So there we go. And Connor, let's have a little chat. How was that then, big man?
Oh, it was bloody brilliant fun. Ever since I was a kid, I wanted to race a two-stroke around the TT course, and
but this two-stroke,
I know, yeah, this two-stroke of all things, it's the best. Yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better bike. Brilliant. The Paget's team would just give me a brilliant bike. I've had so much fun. I was learning so much in that race there as well. So it's a bit like practice that for us. But yeah, really, really happy, and big thanks to the team. Where to next? I don't know. Next race? I don't know.
Don't know wherever next race is. Have you got to change your riding style a bit for this compared to the bikes you're normally riding? Talk us through that.
Yeah. I think, to be honest with you, I've done 6 laps in practice, and I was probably riding it like a 4-stroke. Really, it's like the last 1,000 revs to the rev range. You've got to really work into that and get your gear shifts really accurate. So, and that clicked after lap 2 on that race. So. I got used to it, and I felt like I was smoothing myself and my riding style out, but it's back to my roots. I started on 125s, as hard as it is to believe, but I've had a great time, so yeah, ecstatic.
What happened with your own bike today? Was not make the grid?
Yeah, we had a little issue when we just ran out of time, unfortunately, but unfortunately, my dad Andy Broughton and all the lads down at Ramsey we just ran out of time, unfortunately, but it's a classic event, so it's all about fun for us, so. And that's what we're doing. We're having loads of fun.
Well done in your third place, and good luck for a couple of months as well.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Con. Cheers. Okay, there's your first 3 in the RST Superbike TT. Tim, back to you.
Thanks very much indeed. So that is the RST Superbike Classic TT. Dean Harrison, the winner, 124.238 miles per hour. Second is number 1, Horse Saiger, 123.560 miles per hour. Dean Harrison's time, then, race time, 1 hour, 13 minutes, 24.404. Horst Seiger, 1 hour, 14 minutes, 27.498. The gap at the end was 1 minute, 3.094 seconds. In third then, and a further 9 seconds back, was Connor Cummins, number 10 on the Yamaha, 123.832 miles per hour, 1 hour, 14 minutes, 36.642 seconds.